Hello and welcome back to the channel. Oxford United is up next for the Orns, and we're going to hear from Jack to get the lowdown from the opposition.
Hello mate, it's Jack here. You've asked me to send in my thoughts on Watford's visit to Oxford on Saturday. I think in terms of the importance of the game, there is one team in this fixture that feels as though there's a lot more riding on it, and that would be Oxford. We are in the bottom three. We've been in the bottom three for large periods of the season, and although we're off the back of an unbeaten Easter, and if you look at the form table, a fairly decent run, and probably for the first time Oxford have got a bit of consistency in the Championship this season. We're still in the bottom three, and there's been a lot of missed opportunities. Against Hull on Good Friday, we had the chances to win that game against the Hull side that have been in the top six, but I think that says a lot about our general performance, and to feel as though you should be winning that type of game, I think says a lot about how we played in that game, but in both boxes, we've let ourselves down. And then against Pompey, to concede early, then get a fortunate red card, or Pompey getting a red card that meant Oxford had more players on the pitch for large periods of that match, to then go ahead and then concede late on to draw the game. Again, it's a missed opportunity. And we're not losing late, touch wood, but we're dropping points late on. We're, dropping opportunities to get ourselves out of trouble. And a lot of teams are doing that down the bottom. If you look at the bottom end of the Championship right now, teams are drawing. I think only Blackburn won a game over the Easter weekend out of those sides in this relegation conversation. A lot of draws. Nobody's taken advantage and making up ground, because Oxford could be in a much more comfortable position. We could be in a really quite nice position, but we're not. And that is the reality of it. And the teams that don't do that do eventually get relegated, because you can't do that. You can't be a nearly team. You can't be a side that nearly gets over the line but can't quite do it, because eventually that catches up on you. And at the end of the season, points are what matters. And right now, we're not getting maximum points from games where I think we're putting in the performance that perhaps it should be. It should be warranting those points. But, nothing's a given at this level. It's a brutal, brutal division. So that's where I stand with Oxford. And we need to win the home games. We've got 3 home games. Watford's the first of our last 3 home games of this season. And we need to be looking at every single one of those home games starting on Saturday. We need to be picking up those 3 points. Watford is one of them, and you can look at it in both ways. I think a side on the beach, a side that haven't got a lot to play for, you won't be going down. I think your chances of promotion are quite unlikely. That scares me. Teams go, you want to be playing those sides on the beach because is it the same? They're not playing for a lot other than pride and perhaps contracts for next season. But you also, on the flip side of that, you can spin it and go, well, these players are playing for nothing but with plenty of freedom, and the pressure isn't there. And there's going to be 2 sides on that pitch on Saturday, one with a lot of pressure, a side that know exactly what it means, and another team that, think, well, whatever happens here, we know the outcome, but we can also play with a real feel of freedom, and that scares me. I don't know if you asked me for a prediction, but I'll give you one anyway, which I don't like doing predictions, but I will. I think my heart says Oxford have got to win this game 2-1. I think we will concede the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes of games of where Oxford have been let down in this period. We've conceded early goals, had to come back in it. And then we've also conceded late goals as well, in particular that one at Fratton Park only yesterday as I film this. So 2-1 is my prediction to Oxford United. It could easily be 1-1. It really could be anything. That's how I feel as an Oxford United fan right now. The fact that we're only 1 point adrift in the bottom 3, I think says a lot about this division. It's been quite bitty. There's been a lot of sloppiness, I think, with teams across the course of the season, and a lot of inconsistency. That's how I feel. Hopefully that's okay, mate. And I was going to say good luck Saturday, but actually I don't think I truly mean that. Thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And good luck for the rest of the season, just bar this weekend. Cheers, mate.
Excellent stuff from Jack, as always. And I would urge you to go and check out his YouTube channel, the Jack Ward Football Podcast. He covers pretty much all the teams in the Championship and the leagues below, as well as a really great guy. And as I said, please go and check out his YouTube channel. Right, what do I think about this fixture then? I think Jack was pretty spot on, actually, in his assessment of this fixture. There's only one team with anything to play for, and that is very much Oxford United. Watford, on the other hand, are on the beach. We have probably a few players looking further ahead to the summer transfer window and the international tournaments and friendlies to come in the summer. How do I see this going? There is somewhat of an injury crisis still remaining at the club. We're yet to hear, as I record this, from Ed Still prior to the match. We're going to assume that Mark Boller and Ngakia are still injured. We have issues within the midfield and attacking areas as well. It's going to be a difficult test, and I think this can go one of two ways, really. As Jack said, Oxford could be feeling the pressure and crumble under that, whereas Watford, with nothing to play for, have the freedom to go out and express themselves. I very much hope it's the latter of them two statements. And I think for Ed Still's sake as well, and for his Watford future, looking longer term, he needs to be picking up results sooner rather than later. I hope it's going to be a big win for us, but in my heart, I do think Oxford United might nick this one. Yes, they have struggled this season, but they do have a few seasoned Championship players within their squad as well. And Will Lancashire up front is always going to be a threat. What will my score prediction be? I'm actually going to go a bit negative on this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Oxford win. So, yeah, not feeling too confident at the moment as a Watford fan, but yeah, we'll have to see what transpires at the weekend. Do let me know your predicted 11s and score predictions in the comments beneath this video. And don't forget to follow The Watford Way across all social platforms. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course here on YouTube. And I will be live at the weekend for a watch along as well. Looking forward to that. Make sure to join me if you can't make it over to Oxford. And let's hope we'll be watching a Watford victory, the first hopefully for quite a while. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.